Nelson Mandela once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Those words set the tone for the North Avenue South basketball team as they began the 2011 intramural season. In 2010, they had come painfully close to playing for the housing championship. After losing in heartbreaking fashion, it would have been easy for them to pack up their jerseys, tell themselves they gave it their best shot, and walk off the court for good. However, their community would not live with the memory of failing to reach their dreams of being the best because they were too strong and determined to give up. 2011 would provide them with an opportunity at redemption.
I think this year we have just two people from last year's team, so the personnel is going to be a lot different. So we're going to have to experiment in practice in the game, who needs to go where, what kind of defense we might run. I think we're going to try and stick with the 2-3 because that worked really well last year, so hopefully we can do that again.
A new face on the court for North Avenue South this year is Coach Hannah Gollin. Gollin is in charge of a team that was loaded with potential but had not yet fulfilled their promise.
Hannah's really fun. She's pretty hysterical in here. She's got a lot of energy, which is always good, especially for someone trying to boss you around from the sidelines. She has some basketball experience herself, so she knows the game a little bit, and she's good about organizing the team, making sure people get to practice, get to the games early enough so we can warm up and stretch.
It would be up to her to get the team focused on the tough season ahead.
Ben, you're in the middle right here. You've got it. If it goes down here, you need to cut over here to the side.
In their first game, North Avenue South, or Nasty as they were called, had the opportunity to avenge a painful loss from the previous year as they faced their old nemesis, the Knights of Towers. Last year, it was the Knights who kept them from winning the regular season championship by 1 point in overtime. That game would not be forgotten. Nasty's 6'9" center, David McCauley, won the tip to start the game, and after falling behind 3-0, Nasty fought back. One of Nasty's best players, Kowalski, began to get hot, and the team fed off his play as they scored 8 straight points to take an early lead. That was the only spark in the first half, as it looked like Nasty was more focused on last year's loss instead of the challenge that faced them today. They suddenly went cold from the field, and the offensive drought turned into a loss of focus on defense. Despite a lackluster performance, Nasty left the court at halftime holding a slim 13-10 lead. One of the best players in the housing division, Kowalski, was back for his junior season.
My name is Kowalski. I'm a 4th year here at Georgia Tech, biomedical engineering major. I live in the North Ave South complex playing for Nasty this year. North Ave South is great. I know a lot of people within the building, and I've played a lot of intramural sports with a lot of people, and that's how I've met a lot of my friends in the community. At least intramurals can bring a bigger community, kind of make it smaller in a sense.
Off the court, Kowalski spends his free time playing racquetball, which was a welcome diversion from the demanding Georgia Tech class load.
On Monday nights at 10 we play racquetball here at the CRC. A couple of my buds, we just got 4 guys, and basically we just love playing racquetball. It's a good break from work. It's kind of, at least for Georgia Tech students, it's kind of in the middle of the night for studying, so you kind of get a break from, a little bit after dinner, get a little studying done. So it's a good break.
On the court, he is one of the leaders of the team. It is his leadership that is crucial if Nasty is going to erase the memory of the way last year ended.
We lost Sean from last year. He was the captain for us, and he's very vocal. He kept us organized. I'm trying to be as vocal as possible, but not make people feel like, I'm just the arrogant person who, that thinks he knows everything about basketball.
North Avenue South came out a different team after halftime as they knew the focus was now on the job ahead, not on the memory of what lay behind. As the second half unfolded, it was obvious there would be no repeat of last year's disappointment as they began to fire on all cylinders and started to dominate. When the dust settled, Nasty were the ones left standing as opening day ended with a victory over the Knights of Towers. Next time on Kings of the Court. North Avenue South avenged a bitter loss to the Knights of Towers on opening day. Would the emotional victory be the catalyst for a letdown against the Smithsonians?